Well, news out of the golf world where beginning this year, starting strokes will be eliminated from the Tour Championship. All players will now start at even par, with the event being played as a normal 72-hole tournament. Previously, players were given strokes at the beginning of the Tour Championship based on how many FedEx Cup points they had earned. And for more, we join CBS Sports golf analyst Doug Bell. And Doug, this is a pretty big deal on the tour. What was your initial reaction to hearing this news?
Well, I think it's great because I thought the old format created a somewhat confusing situation for the fans because, for example, the last 3 years, Scotty Scheffler has come into East Lake, the Tour Championship, at 10 under par. He's been #1 in FedEx Cup points. #2 was 8 under, 6 under, 4 under, and down the line. But basically, if you weren't in the top 10, you really had no chance at all to win the Tour Championship, ultimately the FedEx Cup. And so now it's just a regular stroke play event, and all 30 players will have an opportunity to win the FedEx Cup. That was the final tally last year. Again, Scotty Scheffler shows up at 10 under par and then goes 20 under on his own ball, Kiana. Ends up beating Colin Morikawa by 4 shots. And if you remember a year ago, the Tour Championship was void of any drama whatsoever. So this is much needed, I believe, when you have the final 30 guys who played all year long and played the best of anybody else. Now all 30 will have a legitimate chance to win not only a ton of money, but also hoist that FedEx Cup.
You talk about being void of any drama, and you also brought up Scotty Scheffler. Well, he was outspoken against the format, but how much of an impact did that have in your mind in this decision?
Well, I think it always has an impact when the #1 player in the world, the guy, right, speaks out and says we need to tweak it in some capacity. And listen, the PGA Tour went through all sorts of models. They thought that maybe you would have stroke play leading to match play, or match play leading to stroke play, maybe the final 12 guys, whatever. They went through all sorts of possibilities and ultimately came down to the easiest and the most simple format, the one that we love, stroke play for 72 holes. And the fact that you have 30 guys, the 30th guy, he deserves a chance to hoist that FedEx Cup because that particular player, whoever it may be, has had a fantastic year. And so now I think it'll add more spice to the product. Listen, East Lake is an incredible layout. It is an unbelievable venue for what ultimately is the Tour Championship and the FedEx Cup champion. And now all 30 guys have an opportunity. I love it. And most of the players, I would say, I don't want to say 100%, but I would say most of the players believe this is the way it should be and the way it should have been all along.
Well, if you finish first, you're getting that $25 million prize. Meanwhile,
Yes.
if you're second, you're at $12.5 million. That's a drastic difference. I mean, a downgrade in what a win could mean. But how do you believe golfers will react to this news?
Again, they've been talking about this, Kiana, for many, many weeks, and the players knew that this was under consideration because the tour came out and said it. Listen, they want to add spice to the product. They look at TV ratings. They talk to the players, and they want to get big crowds at East Lake. They want Saturday and Sunday to be something really special because, I mean, this ultimately is the Super Bowl of the PGA Tour, and it didn't have that spice the last few years. Again, as you started with the staggered start, the average fan, they kind of figured it out and they kind of liked it, and then as things went on, you kind of forgot about the staggered start. But now everybody starts on even ground, and that's the way it should be at this wonderful golf course, East Lake, the home of the great Bobby Jones. And now, whether you're #1, which probably is going to be Scotty Scheffler, or #30, whoever that may be, everybody's on even ground, and everybody has a chance to win that pot of gold. You mentioned how much money it is. Now all 30 guys will have that chance. And listen, it's incentive for the #30. Before to make the final 30, you get a lot of good stuff. You get in all the major championships. You get into you get to go to Maui at the beginning of the year. You get a 2-year exemption, the whole 9 yards. right? But now you have the chance to cash in the biggest prize in professional golf, and I think it's fantastic. There's no doubt about it. It will add more excitement and more intrigue into the Tour Championship.
So you're saying there's a chance is what you're giving me right here. All 30
Yes.
players now with that opportunity, and I love exactly how you put it. It adds some spice to the product.
Yes.
Can't wait to see how things continue to unfold. Doug Bell with the latest. We appreciate the insight. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kiana.
And for more, you're going to want to check out the Early Wedge podcast. Rick Gaiman, Jason Sobel, Patrick McDonald, Shane Bacon have you covered with tournament previews, recaps, and so much more. Download and follow the Early Wedge podcast.